Hello and welcome to episode 82 of Comics with Stevey D, the origin episode. And it's a great show I have in store for you. Here's one for my space cover collection. Plus he's a superhero I also like, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel number 37 from 1975. I was in 8th grade, I think. Cover art by Bill Kane. Going into my space cover, I love the way he's orbiting the moon in this one. Here's continuing to collect Gru the Wanderer. Gru the Wanderer, number 75 from 1991. Cover art by Sergio Aragones. A super-powered but mentally challenged hero. He's got a good heart. His heart's in the wrong place, but as they say in the business, he's not playing with a full deck, or he has a few screws loose. Or, you look into his ears and you see butterflies, That's him. Here is one. It looks like a big one, but it's Marvel Superheroes number 66 from 1967. Origin of the Hulk, reprint from Hulk 102. And I really can't afford to get that big book, but I can afford to get this reprint of it. And I like the transformation from Bruce Banner into the Hulk, the monster. The more angry he gets, the stronger he gets. Yep. Here's my big boy book of the show, and I'm happy to have it. Tales of Suspense, number 62, from 1959, the year I was born. Cover art by Jack Kirby, interiors by Don Heck, story by Stan Lee. And Iron Man is captured from the previous issue, 60, which I'm going to try to hunt down. And he's tied to this spinning wheel with titanium wires, super strong. And Tony knows if he can keep the Mandarin talking, he'll figure out a way to escape. And so the Mandarin is a riches to rags story. And his mother was a high English noblewoman, and his father was a Chinese aristocrat, rich. But the day he was born, a big statue fell on his dad and killed him. It killed him good, right there. And so his auntie was going to raise him, but she was going to do him in, or take him to the village and have him be raised as a peasant. And just as she was doing that, chandelier almost knocked her off. She figured she better raise him, and she raised them in all the ways of villainy. And then the Chinese Red government came into being, and they claimed his castle and all his wealth and kicked him out. And so he's traveling around, and he finds the bones of this creature, which is truly an alien from outer space. And he keeps going, and he falls through the cavern, and he finds this spaceship. Can you see it? Yeah, right here by my little finger. There's the spaceship. And he stays in that spaceship. And what's cool is on the next page, you see the Merry Marvel Marching Society, which has been on the cover of some books. I think it was on a Spider-Man book somewhere I saw. And this is from 1959. That's what they were referencing. And the kid who had this book, his name was Robert Wally from Michigan. He was 13. So now he's in his late 70s. And so anyway, he finds a helmet, and he's mentally connected to the deceased dragon. And that's where the Chinese got the image of the dragon from, right there. You know, he was so different, the Chinese people defeated him. And he finally comes across all the rings. And the rings are different powers back then than they are now. Everything changes in continuity. But he goes back and he keeps telling the story. And what's neat is I've been reading Iron Man comic books since I was 13, 14 years old. And here's a gizmo I never knew he had. He's got like a switchblade in his finger made out of diamonds that's sharpened that he can cut the titanium cable with. He can't get out because he's not charged with his heart beam thing, you know. And so the thing starts to spin. Instead of killing him, it's recharging him. And he escapes and makes good, and he defeats the Mandarin, the first person to ever to do that, and thus begins. And there's Iron Man and rockets. Way back in 1959, right there, he's dealing with a rocket. It was based on alien technology. The Mandarin was convincing the Red government to use. And then they have one more battle in Iron Man. It's kind of a draw. It always is a draw. And that's the origin issue, number 62. So I am thrilled to have that in my collection. And right now I'm trying to get a hold of some more Tales of Suspense to fill in my Legend of Iron Man. And speaking of an old book, here's another one. Marvel Superheroes number 20 from 1970. Cover art by Marie Severin. Interiors by Wally Wood, the great artist. And it's always the braggarts that are the villains. There needs to be a superhero that brags it all the time, you know. I'm the badass of all the badasses, you know. And super badass. I know there is a badass character, but not badass as far as I'm concerned. All right, here's one going in my Halloween collection. I'm always stocking up for my Halloween show. I've had one, so my second annual one will be in October, and I'm always keeping an eye out. If you look closely, the Earth, it's a skull cap for a skull, and it's on fire, and this is the Resistance, and that's a cool cover. Number 106 from 2020, cover art by Razaz. All right. Halloween book. This book has everything, including the kitchen sink. And there it is. It also has Cyclops eyes and Thor's hammer and Iron Man's helmet and Jimi Hendrix guitars and trolls and all kinds of things. Husband and wife team. Silver Surfer number 1 from 2016. Cover art by Michael and Laura Alfred. But I gotta put it up there a second to give you guys a chance to see if you can find Waldo in there. I don't know. I don't think he's in there, but it's that kind of cover. They must have had fun drawing it. Oh, let's put that in there. Let's throw this in there. Let's throw that in there. It's a busy cover, but it's a fun cover. Fables number 50. And I collect Fables for the covers. It's fairy tales that came to life in New York, and they live right under everybody's nose in the New York area, I believe. I've read a couple issues, but I like the covers because of the trumpet, Little Boy Blue. He's always playing the trumpet. And at first glance, it looks like a normal debutante kind of ball, but if you look closer at the guests, they're hairy and they got pointy ears, and it's all blended in real well. So Fables is pretty good. I first saw Fables on Pop's Comics. He goes through long box after long box, and I just look at them and I write down what I like, and then I go look them up or try to find them in the wild somewhere. And that's what I've been doing. And here's Clash. Adam Kubert artwork. This is a complete cover by. And this is one of 3. And this guy is just like a guy from New York. And he's kind of a gangster type. And he ends up getting superpowers. And he's going to run the world, you know. But I'm not so much into the story as I am into the artwork. Look at that artwork on this cover. It's great line work. There's 2 more issues. I'm going to look down on that. And last but very not least, you know when you dig through the dollar bins? Well, this was in a 50-cent bin, okay? This is the Stainless Steel Rat, and I did not expect this to be in the comic books because I'm familiar with Harry Harrison, the science fiction writer, and his series of novels on the Stainless Steel Rat. And who is the Stainless Steel Rat? He's a sci-fi character written by Harry Harrison, also known as James Bolivar de Gris, a.k.a. Slippery Jim. If you roll Buck Rogers, James Bond, Bruce Lee, a safecracker, Colonel Hogan, Don Juan, Warren Cleaver into one, you get the Stainless Steel Rat. And this guy's got more confidence than anybody you ever met. And he gets away with everything he tries to do. And he loves his wife after he got married. And he has a family. And that's why he's like Ward Cleaver. He loves his family. And they all go on these adventures together in space. That's why he's like Buck Rogers. And Kung Fu has nothing on him. He's got mad fighting skills. And it's science fiction because it takes place in the future in space and other planets and systems, and he gets sent on. He's a secret agent too. I forgot to put that in there. He gets hired by one of the governments in the galaxy and to do stuff, and there's always some lame-o dictatorship kind of thing they're overthrowing, or it's just fun. The Stainless Steel Rat. And there's 6 of them now. I found 2 of them, 50 cents each. And they're in pretty good shape for being from 1986. Because nobody bought them and collected them. Because nobody was reading Harry Harrison science fiction, you know. And so I'm so happy to find it. It's nostalgic from my reading to have it cross over into the comic books. You know, movies cross over all the time, but novels, sometimes in classic illustrated, you get novels crossing over, but sci-fi novels of the 50s and 60s, they don't usually cross over. And I read comic books, and when I quit reading comic books, I went right into science fiction, and I read that for a long, long time until I started collecting comics in my early 40s, That was around mid 90s, I guess. That's when I started collecting. And I collected all the way up to about 2 years ago, and then I stopped. Then I jumped right back in full-fledged. And now I'm a comic collector again, and I haven't read a novel because I've been reading comic books. So with that, my next episode is what I've been reading, and I've been having to finish up runs of miniseries and stuff so I can read. I hate to start reading something when I'm missing an issue here and there, so I wait till I get all the issues completed, then I read them all like a novel. So with that, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I hope you've been enjoying these videos, and I'm going to keep making them for a little while, at least until I can find my Captain America 111 and Captain America 100, and then I'll have all my Captain Americas. I might need a few annuals, but I'll get those after I get the run proper. Take care, everybody. Good luck in your comic pursuits, and good luck in your lives also. Bye-bye.